PointsBet did not have odds on this proposition. But if they did, odds of the player most likely to be accused of having a fake vaccination card, Antonio Brown would have been at the top. So that bet pays off. Not saying he did. I'm saying most likely to be accused of having one.
Semantics.
The statement yesterday from the Browns, I don't want to get too deep into the semantics of it, but...
Whoa.
Not the Browns.
Leave my Browns out of this. Leave my Browns out of this.
The Browns is the Browns. The Browns is the Browns.
We have enough problems without,
Yeah.
without that.
Statement from the Buccaneers. The statement from the Buccaneers saying that we reviewed the card and there were no obvious irregularities. That's the thing. There was no obvious irregularity on McLovin's fake Hawaiian driver's license either. It's not the issue of whether or not there are obvious irregularities. The issue is whether or not the information contained on this little piece of paper that looks like it was cut with safety scissors and could be printed off on any $50 HP printer is true and accurate. Because all it is a little grid, and you put in the name, and you put in where you got your shot, and you put in what kind of shot, and you put in the lot number, and you put in the date that you got the shot. And there won't be obvious irregularities unless you say type of vaccination, Bear aspirin. That's the kind of obvious irregularity that would show. But if it looks plausible, that's the question. What did the teams do? What has the league done to audit this information when there's a clear temptation to submit a false vaccination card? And it's not all that difficult to do it. What was done proactively to ensure that the information contained in these cards is true and correct? And now they say, whoa, we have to look and see, we have to explore. You know what? There's been talk about fake vaccination cards for months.
Right.
And so I think they kept their head in the sand, just like with Aaron Rodgers. We wouldn't know Aaron Rodgers wasn't vaccinated if he hadn't tested positive. He'd continue to show up at the press conferences without a mask. The league would continue to do jack squat about it, and we wouldn't know the difference. Same thing here. We wouldn't know anything about this. There'd be no investigation if someone hadn't blown the whistle on Antonio Brown possibly having a fake vaccination card. That is not the kind of action, Myles, that tells me they really care about their protocols. That tells me they care about it looking like they care about their protocols.
Well, right. I think, the way of verifying this is verifying the lot numbers, right? And so we don't know if they actually did that, in terms of actually making sure that players did get vaccinated when they submitted a vaccination card. And I think that there are pretty obvious motivations of saying that you got vaccinated, because if you did get vaccinated, the protocols are extremely different for vaccinated versus unvaccinated players when you're in the building, right? I think we all know that by now. So there is some definite motivation in terms of doing that if you, for whatever reason, don't want to be vaccinated, which frankly, I will never understand. But like I said, there are reasons to do that if that's the route you want to take. So yeah, I think it's not just about, the player's safety who may or may not have submitted a fake vaccine card. It's about the safety of everybody around them, because if you are unvaccinated and you're not being tested every day as the protocols stipulate, then frankly, you are endangering all of these people who are around you, because say you do have COVID, then you're walking around unmasked in the facility, you're spreading that thing to everybody. That could be a real big issue. So that's why there are different protocols for vaccinated and unvaccinated players, and why there's close contacts and different things like that. So it's not just, what did Antonio Brown do or do not do, or what Antonio Brown did or did not do, whatever it is that I'm trying to say. It's about protecting all the rest of the people in the building who have done the right thing and are vaccinated and have said they're vaccinated because they're vaccinated.
And Bruce Arians is a 3-time cancer survivor. Bruce Arians has been under the impression that he's got 100% vaccination. So Antonio Brown, if indeed this is a fake card, was was wrongfully obtaining the benefit of being vaccinated and not having to go through the protocol, not being the one guy that was the holdout, not facing the pressure from Tom Brady to go get the jab. If Tom Brady was squeezing guys to go get the jab, hey, I got the jab, here's my card. They should be pissed off. And I think Bruce Arians' reaction is consistent with somebody who's thinking, we may be in trouble here, so let's just say what we have to say and focus on Monday night, and we'll deal with whatever happens later, and whatever it wasn't my fault, because I'm not the one who reviewed the card and noticed no irregularities. The question is, how much more beyond that did you do? And I'm aware of teams who, there's been, look, Defector had an item about it. Kalen Kaler, a great item about the suspicion of fake vaccine cards. There were rumors that ESPN's Outside the Lines has been working on a story about this. That has caused some teams to say, we better make sure that our backyard's in order, just in case. And, if the Buccaneers had done that, maybe there wouldn't have been a story that emerged this week about a fake vaccination card for Antonio Brown. The other side of it, too, is the damage is done once you submit the fake card. Because there's a theory that once the shakedown started, and I don't know that it was a shakedown, but it sure looks and smells and walks and talks like a shakedown of Antonio Brown to pay the money that he owed his live-in chef, and he's got a habit of not paying people. This is what happens when you don't pay people and they know things about you. They may say things to other people about it to get back at you. So that's how I use the term shakedown. I don't mean any illegal activities happened, even if they did. But once you catch wind of it, he may have gone and gotten vaccinated. That's kind of the theory that's making its way around the grapevine. Fake card, poop hits the fan, got vaccinated, now everything's fine, overlooks the fact that there's still a chance you submitted a fake vaccination card.
Right, exactly. And so, that's the really weird thing about this. Like, you would think that Antonio Brown would learn by now that if you don't want people talking about you, like putting your business potentially all out there in the streets, then you really should just pay people. Like, this is not the first time that we've heard of an incident where Antonio Brown didn't pay somebody and then that person in turn went and started singing like a canary. I don't really get this. I mean, pay people what you owe them. It doesn't seem like it's that difficult, Mike. I don't know.
Well, as Josh Alper asked yesterday as we were reacting to the news of the allegations against Antonio Brown, and the question that he raised was, how stupid would you have to be to not pay your chef and put yourself in a position that this would happen? And the response was, you would have to be as stupid as Antonio Brown is. Okay. That's how you tie it all together. He doesn't have the greatest track record of doing smart things and paying your bills. Apart from just the basic responsibility to a civilized society, it goes a long way toward getting people from telling on you, which is exactly what happened to Antonio Brown. All right, this is 5 for Friday, and we spent a lot of time on the one. How about number 2? Who are you more confident in when it comes to winning the AFC East this season? The Bills at 6-3 or the Patriots at 7-4? They play twice in the month of December.
Yeah, twice within 20 days because of that Monday night game. I want to say the Bills so badly, but I don't know. Maybe it's this thing that I'm feeling after watching that Bill Belichick clip and seeing what they did last night, where it just seems like Belichick is rejuvenated, 69 years old, and he's now kind of got this part 2, or maybe it's more like part 4 or 5 to his Patriots tenure with Mac Jones and the way they're playing defense. There's a part of me that just really wants to say the Patriots, even though the Bills, they're good. It's just that Josh Allen has been inconsistent this year. So I don't know if I really answered the question. I'll answer it. I'll give you the Patriots. Let me be bold today. Patriots.
I'm going to say the Patriots without question. I think the Patriots are going to win that division at this point. 5 wins in a row. Bill Belichick knows what he has by way of a team. He knows how to maximize that team, and the Bills have been all over the place this year. There was a stretch where they were the only dominant team in the NFL, and they fell off. And now you get good week, you get bad week, you get a ton of inconsistency there. And maybe they can muster the right level of will when it's time to play the Patriots, but I think it's going to be a tall order because the Patriots are back, and the Bills are going to have their hands full twice with the Patriots in the month of December. All right, item 3, between the Eagles, the Giants, and Washington, who do you have the most confidence in clinching the 7 seed? I don't know that I have confidence in any of them, but I guess a second team out of the NFC East. If one is going to make it to the playoffs, which of those three do you think will do it, Myles?
The Giants, I guess, because of their schedule, and they can play good defense. They're starting to get healthier. It looks like Saquon Barkley may or may not be back this week, but if not this week, then coming up real soon. I guess the Giants. I mean, I don't really like what's been going on in Washington. Philadelphia is all right when they really want to run the ball. Maybe I should choose Philly, but I'm not. I'll just choose the Giants.
Yeah, I think the Eagles, because I feel like Nick Sirianni has kind of learned on the fly how he needs to run his team, and they're giving the ball to the running backs, and they seem to be improving. Devontae Smith is coming on, and some think maybe he could even supplant Jamar Chase as the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Although the way the Patriots are going, I think Mac Jones, if anyone, is going to be the one to catch Jamar Chase. But I like what the Eagles are doing. And they have an opportunity now to get to 5-6 this weekend if they can beat the Saints and stay very much alive. And again, everybody except the Lions alive for the 6 or the 7 seed in the NFC. Item 4, which head coach are you most impressed with this season, not named Bill Belichick, Myles?
I'd say Mike Tomlin, mainly because I just didn't think the Steelers would be very good this year. And, I know that they tied with Detroit last week. But look, when you lose your quarterback on Saturday because of COVID, like, things are going to be a little bit wonky the next day. And it's unfortunate that they weren't able to at least beat the Detroit Lions, but they did still tie. And so they're still in the thick of the division race right now. And I think that's a real big credit to him. Look, again, I've said this before. He has been the head coach since the Bush administration, right? And they've never had a losing season with Mike Tomlin. I think this year is really one of his most impressive coaching jobs so far.
Yeah, I'm going to say Mike Vrabel, because the Titans have fallen into this mode that is very hard to capture. It's like team chemistry. You can't engineer it. But you get into a rhythm where your team is all in with the idea that every week is its self-contained entity, and we're going to go 1-0 this week. We hear that cliche all the time, but I feel like the Titans have perfected the Belichickian art of forget about the last game, win the next game. Forget about the last game, win the next game. And I think losing to the Jets was the wake-up call for the Titans, that they have to take every team seriously. They get a test this weekend against a Texans team that they probably are overlooking with the Patriots looming. But with Mike Vrabel, I don't think they're going to overlook anyone. And I am so looking forward to that game next week between the Patriots and the Titans, because the similarities in the coaching style and what Vrabel's done with that team, especially going 2-0, post Derrick Henry out for the year, next man up, no excuses, no, this isn't our year, or down in the mouth, or we have no chance. No, you just keep winning, and you expect your players to come in and perform. Last one, real quickly. Does Cam Newton lead the Panthers to the playoffs in the NFC?
Before I answer this question, I know I'm breaking the rules, but I would also shout out Matt LaFleur in terms of an impressive coaching job just because of all the Rodgers stuff. But yes is the answer to this question. I think the Panthers have such a good defense, and you pair Cam Newton with Christian McCaffrey, that run game can be really, really dangerous, really, really effective. I think it starts this week. We see them make a march to the postseason, Mike.
The key is keeping Cam Newton healthy, and he looks like he's lost some weight. He doesn't look as heavy. Not that he was. He just looks. Doesn't he look a little thin? He looks a little thin to me.
Thin?
Maybe he's down about 10 or 15. I don't know. Maybe it's more than that when you're that tall. I mean, the guy is a giant. And I think if he stays healthy, they are very much alive to make it to the postseason as the 6 or the 7 in the NFC.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.